Hey guys, uh, so I guess I'm just gonna do that joke every video now. Today's gonna be a bit of a heavy video because I'm feeling a little heavy, and honestly, I've been waiting a while to make this video. I'm sorry, I'm just getting my little notes ready because I got some notes. Um, I've been waiting a while to make this video, and I've actually even tried a couple of times, but I struggled because it's kind of a touchy subject, and what I'm going to be talking about today is borderline personality disorder, which is what I was diagnosed with when I was in my early 20s. Um, and pretty sure it's what my mom also has. I don't know. I think I got it from her. And yeah, so the reason that I was waiting to make this video is because A, I needed to gather some factual information, and B, honestly, it's just I kind of go back and forth with it. Sometimes I think, oh, I don't even have this problem anymore. It's totally fine. And then, bam, it's back. So obviously, it's still something I'm struggling with. I'm definitely struggling with it today. uh, so basically, for those of you that don't know, sorry, I'm all schlepped forward. For those of you that don't know, borderline personality disorder, there's obviously a lot of definitions to it, but the main thing is unstable relationships and difficulties regulating emotion. So going from super happy to devastated to just not being able to control the emotions that come up, regulate. So this happens to me more often than I would like to admit, but just being honest. It's a real thing that I struggle with. Um, I really struggle with this. I think maybe I will just read through the various symptoms and just kind of go off of that. I don't struggle with all the symptoms um, anymore. Some in my life I was earlier. Some I've never struggled with, but I'll talk more about that. Okay, so the first one is unstable personal relationships. They, as in people with BPD, have a fear of abandonment, real or imaginary, and from this they fear they make the relationship unstable. And from this fear they make the relationship unstable. Yes. So this is something that I've struggled with probably my entire life. I was always worried somebody was going to leave me. My friends were, everyone's going to ditch me and my family's going to leave. I don't know. I also read at one point that this fear, or actually borderline personality disorder, can have its root in the cry it out method, which was really popular when I was a baby. Like everybody was doing it. So I'm not like, oh, mom, how could you? It was just a thing that people were doing. There's no reason to get upset about it. So I just have always kind of struggled with this. And now in my early 30s, I'm not so worried about it. Like people are going to leave. That's what they're going to do. I'm not so attached to that worry anymore. But it's definitely something I've been struggling with my entire life. So, number two, black and white relationships. Partners are subject to idolization or hatred as a form of splitting. The partner oscillates between being seen as very good or very bad. Ugh. So, my video yesterday was talking about idolization. So, now you can kind of see what I was talking about how I was so extreme, idolizing, pop music and whoever else, my friends. It's part of my disorder is to go from their everything to their nothing. I still struggle with this like 5 minutes ago. um, and not just with personal now more so personal relationships, but like I said before, in my video yesterday, boy bands were everything to me, or they were nothing, don't care. So, yeah, I definitely still struggle with this. Like, my partner and I have been together for 14 years, I think. And even like this past week, there's been times where I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you, God, da da da. And then there's other times where I'm like, I kind of hate you. And you know what? Like, maybe I shouldn't be like airing my like dirty relationship laundry, but I'm just being honest because I know that it's relatable for other people. And I'm not ashamed of me having this disorder, and I don't think anyone else should either. So yeah, sometimes I seriously question if I, you know, maybe I hate my partner, but then I realize, you know what? I don't hate my partner. But coming to that realization has taken me a lot of time, a lot of practice, a lot of effort, but I still struggle with it sometimes. Um, and honestly, like, oh, bless my partner for putting up with some of this stuff because it's not easy to be in a relationship with someone with borderline personality disorder. And you know what? It's not easy to be in a relationship with anybody. So I'm not trying to like, oh, woe is me, woe is my partner, poor us. No, like everybody's got their stuff. This is my stuff. So, number 3, frequent anger and emotional eruption. I feel attacked. I don't really have a lot of anger so much, or like I've suppressed a lot of it, so it's kind of, I feel like I've released a lot of it in theory. Um, but I have a tendency to go from like 0 to like 9,000 real quick. And not even over anything big, but just like I just get worked up really easily. I don't really yell so much anymore, which I'm really proud of how far I've come on that. But yeah, I'm not. I'm working. I'm working on it. Number 4, a disposition of paranoid thinking. Um, I guess I have this sometime, not so much anymore. I feel like this is something more that like my mom struggles with. Um, yeah. Number 5, unstable sense of self. They can go into tailspin or collapse easily. I'd say something from my past more so than my present. Um, I do have moments where I'm like, oh, really? But you know what? Like, I love myself and I'm doing the best, very damn best that I can. So, I'm getting there slowly, slowly. Number 6, defective sense of self. Convinced they are defective. I used to think this, but now I'm not. I don't feel this way anymore because you know what? We're all forking defective. Nobody's perfect. So, not anymore. All right. Number 7, impulsive, self destructive behavior. For anybody that watched my Confessions of an Addict video, you already know that I struggle with this. Um, but I feel like I've come a long way and I'm really like, I'm feeling good about it. However, the other day when my baby was, and I had like a really difficult moment of me trying to get her down, as soon as I got her down, I like came and ate like a whole bag of chips, a whole bag of, a small bag of Lay's chips, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I don't really eat that stuff anymore. I bought it as a treat for myself and I just like without even thinking just like shoveled it in. So not my best, but you know what? I'm not embarrassed to admit it that I'm trying. Number 8, addictive personality traits and attraction to such pursuits as gambling. Okay, so I don't have this problem anymore. I'm not into gambling. It's not exciting for me anymore. Um, Definitely an addictive personality though, but like I said just a second ago, I'm working on it and I don't really feel like I'm addicted to anything these days, which I mean, like, I don't have any wood to knock on, but knock on wood, at least these days. La la la. Number 9, poor judgment. Example, reckless driving. There's there's a good reason I don't have my driver's license. I'm quite confident behind the wheel, and I have no right to be. I drive a bicycle, and that's probably like the best thing for me. Number 11, irresponsible sex. Also in my past, very true. Not so true anymore because I'm, with my partner. But yeah, definitely something I struggled with in the past. Number 11, spending money impulsively and recklessly. Ah, who wrote this? Oh, Bernie, it's my dog. Definitely in my past, not so much anymore. I'm not like a reckless spender. I like to really think about things before I buy them. Um, but sometimes I just, I don't know if this is like just my intuition or what. Sometimes I feel called to buy things and then I need them later on. So it's like my intuition is like, you need this, just buy it. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll buy it. And then I end up using it. So I'm like, that's not the same. I don't know if it is. I'm telling myself it's not the same. Number 12, self mutilation or burning oneself. They often use this in order to feel and find solace in this. Definitely in my past. I have no interest in, injuring myself anymore. But yeah, I used to cut myself, burn myself, all these other things. And I did this into probably my early 20s. Um, I remember I would always like do it in places that nobody would expect or see, like, the outside of my ankle or whatever. Um, I'm not trying to give anybody ideas, by the way. It's just something that I used to do. La la la. Number 13, thoughts, threats, plans, or committing suicide. Okay, so obviously I wasn't successful because here I am, but I definitely thought about it, and I, I attempted it, but there wasn't really any plan behind it. It was just kind of like an impulsive thing. Um, Number 14, attachment issues with children, lack of bonding or emotional connection. This is definitely not true for me. Um, I've always been really good with kids, I think, and really connected to them. I definitely have an emotional connection with my baby. I definitely bond with her. So, luckily, this is not true for me. Number 15, more likely to be a woman. Statistics show 80% of borderline personalities are women. Surprise! Well, I'm a woman, so that's that. Number 16, likely to have been traumatized by early unsafe environments and or parents, may have been sexually abused in childhood. There was no consistent nurturing and they were often rejected or criticized. So yes, I was sexually abused when I was a little kid. Um, Not anyone in my family, just like my babysitter's son's friend. Um, yeah, I don't really want to talk anymore about that right now. Number 17, they have traits of neurotic or psychotic behavior. Yeah, I would say definitely in the past, not so much now. Um, I've definitely gone off the rails a few times, so to speak. Okay, yay. Number 18, they look normal. They do not hallucinate. They live in a world of unforgiving extremes. I guess I look normal. I don't know what looking normal means. Um, what do you think? Ah, number 19, they are extremely needy, but in fact operate from a blend or split between dependence and hostility. Hmm. I would say I'm going to just adjust this a little bit. There we go. I would say I'm probably definitely like needy sometimes. I'm kind of like a cat. I'm like I'll come over and be like, "What's up?" Or I'm like, "Get away from me." Again with the splitting. I like to talk a lot, so I feel like probably my partner is like, "Oh my god, shut up." Sometimes. But again, I'm working on it and I'm doing my best. Number 20. They often have fear of being left alone, and the nighttime and darkness may frighten them. This is not true for me anymore. I'm really happy to be alone, and I kind of like the nighttime. I guess the darkness frightens me a little bit, not like in my house, but like if I was like out in a forest, I might be like, I don't know, a little scared because I'm worried like some like snake or something is gonna get me. I'm not even afraid of snakes, but I don't know. I don't know. La 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 la. 21. The partner in relationship feels like they are always defending themselves. They put the partner on a pedestal and then tear them down. The partner walks on eggshells around them. I know that this is true for my partner. I don't know about right now, but this has definitely been true in the past. He's even said that specifically. I feel like I'm on eggshells. And you know what? To be honest, sometimes I feel that way around him. Not, I don't think he has BPD, but just throwing that out there that we're not perfect. Number 22. Oh, a butterfly. Oh, number 22. They make unreasonable or impossible demands of others. True. Sometimes true. Number 23. They struggle to feel and so express their needs, wants, and feelings. Okay, yeah, they struggle to feel and so express their needs, wants, and feelings. I definitely struggle um, to express my needs, wants, and feelings because sometimes I don't even know what they are, and I have a hard time kind of like labeling my emotions. This is something that I'm definitely working on. It's hard sometimes to label it. Like I'm like, am I mad at this? Like, I don't know. Not so easy. Um, hmm, where was I? Oh yeah, number 24. They struggle to love and yet they are healed by love. Oh, it's true. I do struggle to love sometimes. And I am healed by love. This kind of reminds me actually of this book, or not this book, this story in Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul maybe, or the Kid Soul. I don't know. I used to love these books. Anyways, one of the stories was a girl uh, who was in foster care was adopted by this lady, and the lady was like just trying to be loving to her, and the girl was just like, "No, I hate you. You're not my real mom. Stop being, stop trying to be nice." She just kept trying, and eventually the girl like warmed up to her, and I used to like really resonate with that story, and also yeah, that this just kind of brought that up for me. It's a nice story. Aw, yay. um, Number 25. They may have been adopted out at birth. Not true for me, but true for my mom. Number 26. They may have been fostered out or in an orphanage where love was absent and no bond formed with the guardians. Not true for me. And when I was in foster care, when I was 14, I actually had pretty good experience overall. Number 27, there may have been childhood physical or sexual abuse by parent, relative, adult, or sibling. Um, no, I didn't have that. So that's good. Not by, like I said, the sexual abuse was not someone in my family. And then when it happened to me again in my early teens, again when I was like 13, or 14 rather, both, I don't know. That wasn't my parent. Number 28 has obsessive compulsive disorder rituals and practices, possibly around time, mathematics, or other black and white or mechanistic constructs. Possibly has safety rituals like checking door and window locks many times. This isn't so true for me now, specifically the like checking the doors and locks, windows, etc. Um, but it was definitely true when I was younger. I would like make sure the door was locked like 100, like not 100 times. That's not true. But I would definitely be like, oh God, just better triple check. And I probably do have some OCD like rituals and practices, but I can't really think of any that I have at the moment. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I get excited when I see like 222, 333, 444, 555. I don't know. I'm like angel numbers, yay. Um, Number 29. Often may start but not finish projects or tasks. I think we've already discussed this. I feel attacked by this. I've definitely started a lot more than I've finished, um, working on it. Number 30, attracted to narcissistic partners. Hmm. I don't think it's true. I don't think my partner is very narcissistic. Um, Definitely in the past, though, like because of this like idolization, it was just like, they were selling themselves and I was buying. I was like, wow, he really is great. Which narcissism is a whole nother thing. And I don't know. I've kind of thought in the past maybe I have a little touch of narcissism sometimes because I've heard a lot of people tell me, like, wow, you're so confident. What's your secret? And I'm like, I am? I don't know. Anyways, apparently we're not supposed to be self diagnosing, so I'm not going to be doing that. Number 31, may be amnesic during emotional trauma based outbursts and later claim that they never happened. They may not relate to their behaviors as theirs. Yeah, this is true for me. I've definitely had some outbursts where I don't remember what I said, I don't remember what happened. Um, the last one I can think of is when I like yelled at my sister for just, I don't know, I can't even tell you what I yelled at her for. My younger half sister, she was doing some things that I didn't agree with, and honestly, like our whole family was a little bit worried about her, and I thought like maybe if I just yell at her, maybe she'll listen to me. It didn't work, and now she doesn't talk to me anymore, which is pretty sad. Um, she was kind of like the black sheep in our family. Um, so yeah, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Let's see. La 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 la. Number 32. May live contact/communication needs through the internet, such as Facebook, and not have many face to face relationships they trust. Ugh, this is too relatable. And luckily, it's not 100% relatable anymore. Although a lot of my friends are not here, like in Cambodia, a lot of my friends are in Canada, a lot of my friends are around the world, where I met while I was traveling, or who I met while I was traveling. So I guess it's sort of true, but I'm trying to have more face-to-face relationships. This is definitely true in the past, especially before my partner. Um, I would just like find all of my like relationships and friends online, and I would just kind of like build this facade, and I don't even know if I could live up to it. I wasn't trying to be fake, but I was just trying to be like a version of me that they wanted because again, I was worried that they were going to leave me. I also actually did this with my partner at the beginning of our relationship. I just kind of like pretended to like all these things that he liked even though I like didn't really like them that much. I eventually grew to like some of the stuff, but I just wanted him to like me so bad. And I've told him this. This is no secret. Like, it's not like a shameful thing. Like, so if anybody's thinking, oh my God, like, I can't believe you would do that. Well, yeah, I did because I didn't know any better. Don't judge me. Well, if you want to judge me, I don't care. It's none of my business what you think of me, anyways. Number 33. Oh, and wait, number 32. My mom definitely does this. A lot of her friends are online, so it's definitely true. Number 33. May start and lose friendships quickly where they blame other for being unsafe or the betrayer. Again, I feel attacked. um, I definitely like if I really like vibe with someone, I'm like, this is my best friend. For those people that have BPD, you know that as the favorite person. Like it's like this person is my ride or die. They're my best friend. We could do everything together. We get it. And I just like I'm really, I guess you could probably tell based on these videos, like I have no problem just opening up to people. Um, but I also have a hard time keeping friends, and I don't really know why. I guess maybe because they do something that I'm like, "Ugh," and then psh, see ya, get out of my life. Um, so yeah, I have struggled with this for my entire life, and I'm trying to do better and realize that like, people can't always reach my like threshold of acceptable, and I've had to like drop that quite a bit because I'm quite a loyal friend, so I've always tried to like have a friend like me, and most people just can't be there. And I'm not trying to brag like, oh, I'm such a good friend. No, I just sometimes I'm just unrealistic, as the other number 22 mentioned. So, last one, number 34, lives in extreme environment of either mess or pristine, rigid exactness. Ooh, rigid exactness or flip-flops. This is an extreme example of a split that borderlines may live out in their lives. Okay, so true. So true. And this is why I've kind of realized that I can't have too much stuff because I just end up like living in a mess. Um, Now that I have my partner and my baby, this isn't as big a problem as it was for me before. But when I was a kid, either my room was like perfectly clean or an absolute disaster. And it was probably more like an absolute disaster. My desk at school always just filthy. And then I would clean it. I'd be like, oh, how could I not always have it like this? And then it would just right back to old messy desk. Same with my locker. Same, I just, especially when I was younger, I would just like leave stuff and not want to deal with it until it was like disgusting. Like so many oranges in the bottom of my bag that I just like ignored until it was like gross. Um, yeah. So these are the symptoms, if you will, of BPD, and these are a lot of things that I've struggled with. Um, Definitely, the splitting is just so tough, especially like I've really worked hard to not say always or never, as in like I always do that or you never do that, because it's just not true. It's not true. Nobody always does something, and nobody never does something. Facts. Um, I almost said my dog always barks though, but he doesn't. He's pretty quiet most of the time. Just apparently when I'm trying to like not have him bark, he's like, "Cool, I'm gonna bark." And yeah, definitely with the frustration, the unstable moods. Um, like last night, for example, I was trying to make the bed. Well, my partner and I were making the bed, and I wanted him to like pull one of the, I don't know what to call it. Like it's like a post to lift up the like baby enclosure that we have around our bed. And I don't know what to call it. So I was like, lift that. And I was like pointing at it. And he's like, lift what? And I just was like, I like kind of went off a little. I'm like, just lift it. Like, it's over there. And just because I was so frustrated, I just like immediately just turned to like super rude. And I'm really glad that he called me out about it and was like, why are you talking to me like that? Like, and I was like, oh, and the like inside part of me was like, well, that's because you weren't listening, da, 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 like trying to like make excuses for why I should be able to talk to people like that and I should not. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle. I'm doing my best, but of course I apologize, because I don't like when people talk to me that way. So I'm trying my best, guys. One other thing that isn't here that I do want to include is that people with borderline personality disorder, when they have kids, this is a common thing. And this is actually why I'm like super hell bent on like getting my stuff together and not passing this on to my kid. Um, is because, well, A, I don't, I don't want to pass it on to my daughter because, like, that's enough of this. It's too much. It's too much. She doesn't deserve this. She deserves to have none of these problems. So I'm trying my best to regulate myself so that I can teach her how to regulate her emotions. Um, but one thing that can happen if you have BPD and you have kids, if you have, let's say, two kids, the first kid, you'll give all of your like good qualities about yourself, like all the things you're really proud of, because you're like, oh, I'm doing such a good job, and, here we go. So they'll, imprint all of their good, proud qualities onto their kid. But then if they have a second kid, sometimes they'll imprint their like shadowy side onto that kid. All of the traits that they're not proud of or they don't like about themselves, they'll imprint onto that kid, and then maybe they won't be as nice to that kid as they are to the first kid. So that's actually one of the reasons why I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have more kids. One and done. Um, there's a couple of other reasons why I'm thinking of not, but I'll talk about that in another video because we're getting a little stretched out here. But um, it's definitely something I'm considering, I'm thinking about. So, do you know anyone that has borderline personality disorder besides me? I know that this personality disorder has a really bad rap, and a lot of people think like these people are batshit crazy, or they're manipulative, or all these other things. I don't know why I was like all these other things. I'm doing my best. Um, yeah, it has a bit of a bad rap, and I just want to say that what, like, people with borderline personality disorder are people too. And it may seem like, we're crazy or whatever. This is actually another thing, is that people with BPD are worried that other people think they're crazy. And guess what? We're all crazy. So if you have BPD, don't worry about people thinking you're crazy, because we're all crazy. Everybody in the whole world. Nobody's normal. Nobody has their shit together, okay? Everybody has their moments. So if you think that people with BPD are manipulative, it's not an on purpose thing. But everyone also could be seen as manipulative at one time or another. So let's just cut out the judgment and just try and love people for who they are. And you know what? If that person in your life, whether they have BPD or not, is not serving you like well, as in like not doing good in your life, you should probably just cut them out of your life. And the same could go for, for me. If I was in someone's life and I was like causing them problems, I hope for the love of themselves that they cut me out of their life, because I don't have the right to treat people that way, and they don't have a right to treat me that way. We gotta just basically end of the video. We gotta love each other. We gotta stop judging each other. And I love you. I love you no matter how you are. Even if you're difficult to love sometimes. I know I am, but I love you anyways. All right, guys. Have a good day. See you soon.